Yo, I'm straight sipping green tea on my balcony, smoking about 2 or 3 cities, please. No marijuana, get too paranoid. I don't wanna get up in my head, boy. Boy.
Shawty wanna fuck.
It's cracking, guys. I entered here what I felt like was a pretty early higher low. There's this LVN that I'm pitted against. My stop loss is right around this small distribution. Liquidates super quickly. That's a-okay. Right there, overnight low. I feel like that would have been a potential long. I kind of forget. Here's the overall look that I was going for. I was seeing ES. As long as it's above the 73, I want to try keeping that, longing that to like 6K or so. But if it's below, I want to short that into the lower distributions. And ES seemed pretty damn strong in its conviction on going downwards. But NQ was not really compatible with it. Usually they're in sync, you know, like girls when they live together, but it was not happening. I'm gonna go over why that's stupid, but this was me playing on that setup, which was shorting around that 573 area, I believe, on NQ.
Yeah, that's where you fucked up. Look, you should have been taking out at the bottom and entering for a long and taking out at the top. This is balance, boy. That's the strat.
So I was expecting to go at least to value area high on that distribution on the right hand side, or work into the LVN somewhere around there, or to hit those lows like overnight low again. Did not happen. Let me show you ES. This is where I went full retard. Is like, look at ES. We tap value area high and then we rip, you know, like that was the low of the day. That's the bottom of the distribution. That is like, what? That is your memo to get go, to hop on long and to shoot it up, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't do it. I went full retard. Don't go full retard. Here's me trying to pick back up. Account's blown. A-okay. I told myself I'll do sim trading. I'll finish off the day. 5-minute opening range right here. See some absorption, blah blah blah. Get stopped out nearly to the tick, then it runs down. Great. So just sneeze there. So I see some stalling at the point of initiation almost right here. I take a jab at like 2 longs. The second one is for me to try to get a better entry. So that wasn't like, oh, this is the position. It was just like, what signals am I waiting for? How does the DOM look? How does the delta profile look? How does this stuff look for me to want to enter? And that was right. Like, it was a good position. I don't know what the heck happened, but we got that quick liquidation, then spike up. I was not at the computer at that time. I was currently getting some cuddles. It is early morning. I am tired. But yeah, I totally missed that. That's fine. Whatever. I just thought this was funny. I put a buy limit at IB high, which is at the bottom of that leftmost distribution and at the top of the rightmost distribution. It's like, cool, maybe this is kind of like a breakout, whatever. I'm just throwing something on, and to the tick, it ignores me. I just thought that was funny. So I get stopped out, right? Cool. And what I've been noticing sometimes is price will not touch that high or low. And you're probably like, what do you mean high or low? If you look at the tops and bottoms, you'll see these lines that extend to the right, these thin white lines. Those are the high and lows. So I have this tool that automatically marks them so I can look at them. My typical strategy is to wait for a poke on that and then a retest on top of it, and then I enter. But sometimes I've been noticing it doesn't touch it, and then it'll rip off anyways. So I saw the signal, I took an entry, but I had a tight stop. So if it was gonna poke through, I set that stop to that low, and that's where I get stopped out. And then I enter. If price breaks through, touches, and then I enter, and I have my stop below that low. Price runs up. I have reasonable targets to the top of range and in the middle. Boom, simple. I think this is kind of where I mess up too, because sure, it's like I'm looking for balance and to short the highs and long the lows, which is all super reasonable. But at the same time, I should be building my thesis like, okay, so this happened, right? Like, we explored the bottom of the distribution on ES. Obviously, we're going to target the other end of that distribution. So what are we looking for? Well, if we're not at the top of that distribution yet, should we be shorting? I don't know where ES is at the point of that screenshot, but it's like if we're not at the top of the distribution, then we should be longing the pullbacks that are happening. We should continuously be longing the pullbacks. We don't have to anticipate when the pullback's going to happen, because it's like going against the trend. And why are you going to try to fade that? Just have the safer opportunity to just long when it's stronger. So I think that's where I'm really messing up here. I recalled I had a free reset credit for Top Step, so I am running that. And I'll be back in business, bitches. But if that runs out, same shit, sim trading, and then prove to myself. But I feel like I got this. We'll see. But that's it. Shawty won a thug. I went to the dentist, and turns out what I was shooting for did eventually happen, just not the way I wanted to. So I think the more appropriate resolution is that you execute towards the goal, but scale out along the way. So I was trying to hold out for this big breakout, but I think it's either reasonable to be entering in that position and then scaling out on those near reversals so you're not upset you're losing profits, or this quick move that happened today happens, and on the pullback to the LVN return that price is probably going to do right here at in Q at 637 to like 640 area, you can then short that, and that's the move, but no, like, sure, I think I'm more upset that my P&L did not match what my expectations were, which is okay. And there's ways I could have gone about it to where I could have secured a good payout or P&L. But plan was cool. That's good to know. Upsetting.